All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Matthew Loop, and today we're going to discuss 2023 social media profit and impact strategies for chiropractors, strategies that attract an extra 30 plus new patients per month from social media on a shoestring budget. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you shut away all distractions, get out of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and really focus because this information has the potential to send your practice on an upward trajectory so you can prosper and thrive more in this new year. Glad to be with you. I love hosting these webinars at the beginning of the year to help fast track you so you can hit the ground running. If you have any questions, you can certainly post them in the chat or look me up on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm very active on all of these channels. And before we begin today, I just wanted to give you access as a gift to the 3-day new patient machine. This is my most successful email sequence where you can send it out 3 emails in 3 days to create a windfall of reactivations in your own practice. In fact, just the other day, I had a client send this out and had 12 reactivations in 3 days just from a small list of 1,200. So powerful results can uh, result from this particular sequence. And you can download it at dcincome.com/blog/script. That's dcincome.com/blog/script. And if you have any questions, you can certainly respond to any of those emails. But I promise you this will get you going quickly so you can capitalize on your practice members that already know, like, and trust you. And also, before we begin, I just wanted to share with you one of our experiences that we're hosting in Mexico this April on the turquoise water, white sand in Playa Mujeres. It's called our Caribbean Adventure Mastermind. April 21st through the 23rd, 8 to 12 each day. You can learn more about it at www.ucam.fun. If you like to be in the room with high performers and successful doctors, you will find this valuable as we show you more of what's working now and where the puck is moving in the future. We also have a training in Atlanta called our Social Media Revenue Summit, and you should mark your calendar right now for August 19th. This is going to be held at the Porsche Experience Center right in the city. If you go to socialmediarevenuesummit.com, you can access the early bird tickets right now for a limited time. And I promise you, this will be an experience unlike you've ever had before, at a wonderful venue with high performers learning new social media strategies and growth. So that's the Social Media Revenue Summit. Now, our goal for today is more impact, more influence, and income for you as a chiropractor or holistic expert. So, what we're going to talk about will help you do just that. Let's get right into it right now. Now, many of you are familiar with Google Maps or Google Business, but this is a foundation of everything that you do online. So, just some quick housekeeping: make sure you have 2 to 3 times the amount of local Google reviews than any competitor. Just write that down and have an in office protocol in the practice so your team members are all on the same page, that when a patient is loving what you do, you will specifically ask them and say something like this: Mrs. Jones, we're thrilled you've seen such great results with chiropractic. Tell you what, we would love your feedback on Google because it helps us help more patients that never knew this was an option for insert your condition, back pain, headaches, and whatnot. And then be quiet, let them answer. And most times they'll say, absolutely, sure. Now, I never tell somebody to give me a 5-star review, but we always let them know, hey, we would love your feedback. Here's the listing, and get them to do it in the office, if possible, from their phone, because once they get out of the door, life gets in the way and they won't complete it. This will increase your compliance. Make it a goal and write this down: 5 reviews every single week. You know, just from looking at this listing, if you were going to choose a chiropractor and you had some issues going on, who are you going to choose? The doc with 543 reviews, 144, or 81? 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to choose this one, right? Which just so happens to be one of my coaching clients. So stack the deck in your favor from this angle, and then we can build on to other social media strategies. Now, I also wanted to touch on maintaining a healthy social media account in today's world. Lots have changed in the last year, and so many docs come up to me and they've had their fan pages banned. They can't advertise anymore because of certain things that they've done, and this can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long term. So make sure you pay close attention to what I talk about on social media and also this webinar. But Realize big tech platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok, they do align with the prevailing mainstream narrative like your New York Times, CNN, etc. So they do more likely lean in one direction than another. You've got quote unquote fact checkers, which essentially refute any information that's not mainstream. And we all know that that's not necessarily the truth, right? So, guidelines to follow when posting, if you want to maintain healthy accounts, is always post from mainstream sources. So even if you go and you like an alternative health practitioner or a large natural health newsletter, if you post their links, that's not a good thing because their sites have likely been flagged for whatever reason. So you can go to the very bottom, and in most cases, they do reference the mainstream source where they pulled the information from. Be careful with memes and satire. I've actually had 30-day like mini suspensions for posting memes. It's ridiculous, I know, but Facebook is very strict these days in particular. So if you want to have a healthy account, just maintain a low profile that way. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. Don't make any claims in anything that you promote or advertise. Don't use images that depict pain and or physical problems, red points, or somebody actually pointing or holding the site of pain. And when you promote conditions online, whether it's back pain, sciatica, headaches, vertigo, don't use second person language or direct questions. So you would never say, do you have numbness and tingling? But what you could say is you could say, numbness and tingling can be overwhelming. That could be a headline because it's third person. No yous or yours, just use third person language. Do not use words like cure, beat, overcome, relieve, eliminate, gets rid of. Even if you get it approved on Facebook, they could still terminate your account. And this happens all the time because their algorithm is really, really smart. And I can't tell you how many ad agencies, social media consultants have instructed their clients to do this. And then ultimately they come back to me and it's just too late by then. So be smart. Also, be aware of copyright violations regarding music. Some of you are just posting your TikTok videos automatically to Facebook, but the problem is Facebook doesn't own the rights to music like TikTok has, and you can get enough violations, which can also lead to account suspension. So be very careful. There are apps online, I believe Snaptick is one of those, where you can delete the TikTok logo, and I think they might even delete the music, but you'd have to double check on that. Now, for those that might not be as familiar with who I am, just to give you a Cliff Notes version, I've been training chiropractors and health professionals since 2005 in the MySpace days. I've spoken on pretty much every major stage in the profession, had the privilege of speaking at Harvard, NASDAQ. Social media has taken me on an amazingly incredible journey, and I've consulted over 8,500 chiropractors, 40,000 business owners. Millions have viewed my tutorials online because I keep my finger on the pulse of what's working. So I'm not a fly-by-night, Johnny-come-lately consultant like you see so many popping up these days. I've been in the game a while. And, I get to travel with my family through the use of social media and how it's allowed me to connect with amazing influencers, whether it's a health influencer like Dr. Peter McCullough, who's been an amazing warrior this past 3 years, or, legends like Evander Holyfield having a private dinner, or billionaire philanthropist in a pirate costume serving me lamb tandoori on his own island, Sir Richard Branson. Like, these opportunities would have never been possible if I didn't learn how to use social media to impact more, generate more income, and then really just become just more influential. This is exactly what I teach docs how to do every single day. And I even had the privilege of interviewing Dr. Oz. Regardless of what you think of him, he's one of the most popular physicians on the planet, right? This was at the Philadelphia College of Physicians. So if you dial this stuff in, it can connect you into some amazing places, and you can start to interact with people that can move the needle a lot faster and get your health message out to the masses. Suzanne Summers, etc., right? So let's talk about some trends to pay attention to in early 2023. And I just wanted to say the biggest opportunity to build your audience for free is through these three platforms: Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok videos. These are all preferably under 30-second videos that you create. You can go longer, certainly, but 30 seconds is really the sweet spot. You should have all of these apps on your phone anyway: YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And you also have to understand this: kids and teens now spend more time watching TikTok than YouTube, the data shows. Google execs are suggesting Instagram and TikTok are eating into Google's core products as well, like search and maps. This is massive. And we talked about this at our social media revenue summit this year. But let me just quote this. In our studies, something like almost 40% of young people, when they're looking for a place for lunch, they don't go to Google Maps search. They go to TikTok or Instagram. And this is from the senior vice president who runs Google's knowledge and information organization. So the search game is completely shifting. And if you don't know what's going on, and if you haven't followed me, and when I've been talking about this, you are behind the 8 ball right now. This is TikTok SEO. Write that down. Now, TikTok SEO, there are factors involved, which just like when you're uploading a YouTube video to the platform, where your titles, tags are important and all that stuff. So make sure that you have those dialed in. And in our social media elite course, we go really in depth in that. Consumers are choosing small businesses with the largest digital footprint. This is the same as it was last year. So you could have a massive presence on Facebook, but if that's all you have, you're also shooting yourself in the foot. You have to own Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Google, right? You've got to be all over the place. Censorship will continue to worsen, except on Twitter. Is if you've been following that discussion, Elon has done some amazing things for the platform, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. There's more social media advertising opportunities now because so many docs and professionals are backing off. There's a recession going on. And just like in Corona, what happens, people scrimp and they save instead of actually doubling and tripling down on their ad spends like I've talked about. The ability to pivot and adapt is more important than ever. I don't have to tell you that. We live in an ever-changing world. Now, the big 6 networks that you should be concerned with are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google, Twitter, and YouTube. This is where the money is for most of you. I will give you some less restrictive platforms, though, because if you post more controversial content or stuff that you think Facebook might not like, you can go to Parler, Gab, Telegram, Rumble, BitChute. Rumble and BitChute are video networks similar to YouTube. Substack is a private blogging platform. Those are great channels to where you can post more content that maybe think is a little bit more controversial. Short form video is king. In fact, you probably already know this, but people would rather watch a video than read a 2,000-word blog post. 70% almost of individuals online prefer to consume content via video. So make sure, even if you're scared, you've got to get over your stage fright and commit to some type of regular routine, either you or your team members in the office. You can even get those videos transcribed, so you have text versions of that video. You can publish the transcription on your blog under an embedded YouTube video for better rankings. You can upload that raw video with the transcription as subtitles to Facebook. Native videos, like videos that you actually upload to the social networks, they give you higher impressions than just sharing a YouTube link on Facebook. You should never do that because you're hardly going to get any distribution at all. And then you can extract the audio and use it as a podcast episode if you choose. You can use the thumbnails in your email marketing campaigns. Lots of way to repurpose your content. So plan of action, I'd recommend carving out time to create at least 5 video content pieces each week for the practice marketing or advertising. And quite honestly, this might take you, if you get it down, 30 minutes maximum every week. You don't have to have this big, long, elaborate script. We're talking 30-second to 1.5-minute videos maximum. Don't overcomplicate the process either. Sometimes it's also easier to batch shoot, where you pick Monday at 2 o'clock every Monday, and you're going to shoot all the videos then. You'll come up with content ideas on the weekend and just go to town. Super simple way. Other times you can be more spontaneous if an idea comes to mind, but that's really your choice. Other times you can have a CA in your office or an employee just document what you're doing. So if you're doing a report of findings for one of your patients, or if you're just adjusting someone and you are explaining the process, you could have somebody look over your shoulder and just film. So it's not like you're having to create additional content. It's being done while you're actually working. Collaborations and joint ventures with other small businesses or influencers are now even more important than ever, especially with all the censorship going on, and they will become more common. So make a list of all the influencers that you take care of in your practice, business owners. They're building their fan bases as well online, their customer lists. These are all local. So it makes sense to work out some type of reciprocity, posting for each other or emailing from each other. Super simple way to generate more patients from people that already have relationships with their client bases. Now, Reels, we touched on this briefly, but it is like a TikTok clone. It's owned by Instagram. Sometimes doctors see more success initially here than on TikTok. So you might as well repackage and post the video on this channel. And the true beauty of Reels is that your ability to go viral doesn't matter how many followers you have. You could have one follower on TikTok or on Reels right now, yet they'll push your video out to their whole algorithm. And if it gains traction, you can start to see massive amounts of followers, comments, and people through your door. Now, this is what just a simple Instagram profile looks like from a mobile device. And right now I've got 18,000 or so followers on here. But when you post, when you click this plus button, what happens is you'll see an option to upload a reel. And from there, you can follow the process through. It's relatively simple, just like TikTok. Upload the video or shoot the video in there and, publish it. YouTube Shorts, very similar to Reels and TikTok. So once you've mastered them all, once you've mastered one, you have pretty much everyone. This is YouTube's attempt to compete, and they've done a pretty good job. So when you do publish a video, you'll see that little plus button on your mobile, and then one of those options says create a short. And then the same process happens. You can just go and publish your video or record it right then and there, and voila. Let's talk about TikTok just a little bit more, though, because it is really eating into Google their popularity. Everyone's going there right now. And I don't care what your apprehension might be, if you're still kind of one of those laggards that for whatever reason thinks TikTok is somehow a bad app. Well, I would say that you haven't researched Facebook enough. Facebook has done more to steal your data and give it to big corporations, the government, the NSA, than anyone else, right? So if you're going to, my opinion is you got to maximize the opportunity while you can, because we're not going to be able to have this later on down the road. They always cut their reach and make you pay. That's how social media does. So they've hit 3 billion downloads right now. And in fact, the engagement's the highest I've ever seen on any social platform in the history of social media. Right now, I have 58,000 followers on my personal TikTok. I've had videos get into the millions of views. And once you get millions of views, we're talking thousands of comments, 27,000 shares, 262,000 likes from real people. Versus if you post the same video on Facebook, you'd be lucky to get 1,000 video views, maximum, right? And to give you an idea, over 37% of the base of users on TikTok is over the age of 30. So your demographic is absolutely there. Plus, you've got a lot of parents on this platform that are just checking on their kids. Users spend an average of over 52 minutes a day on the app, which is longer than Facebook, and it's the most downloaded app of 2020, 2021, and it looked like it's going to be very close for 2022 as well. Short videos, they can be 3, 15, 60 seconds or longer, but I would recommend keeping them shorter. And in terms of going viral in the algorithm, there are 8 key factors that really make a huge difference. Things like the watch time in full, the rewatches. If somebody rewatches the video, they found it valuable or funny or whatever it is. Likes, shares, comments, things of that nature. All those matter when you're trying to get at the music soundtrack that you use. TikTok also has local advertising, though. So not only can you just get massive amounts of free reach to attract more people in your office, but you can use this ad platform and gain early adopter advantage. As soon as this platform dropped, we were all over it with my clients and I. And just really getting in while we could. You can target very similarly to what you can do with Facebook ads by city, by age. And the cost per leads, for instance, I've seen it a few dollars per lead. This one is an example of $11.37 per lead. The impressions are way higher in their quality because people can't just scroll through 16 posts in a matter of a second like they can on Facebook. They actually have to go one video by one video, and you're guaranteed to get 3 to 5 seconds of a view out of somebody, which is huge. And if you set up the lead form properly, it's very easy to track. As you can see here, all these leads coming in from one of our clients on TikTok. In fact, I have a client I'm thinking of off the top of my head. Since last year in general, she generated over 130 new patients from TikTok up in Michigan. It's pretty insane. And that alone generated her over $100,000 in revenue just based on TikTok. So you're missing out on potentially a lot if you're not dialing in the ads platform. Now, there's a thing here. You got to check and see if it's in your geographic area yet, because it's not everywhere, and there isn't radius targeting. There is city targeting. But you'll create a short video based on your most successful Facebook ad. That's where I'd recommend starting. The minimum the minimum budget is $20 per day. So you have to be able to devote that, and within 4 or 5 days, you will know how successful your ad's going to be in doing what you want it to do. You spend $100, that'll give you enough information to determine, is it getting enough engagement? Is it going to be a good new patient attraction ad for me, or if it's not? And if you need my team to check for you to see if your geographic area is in play, you can just go to www.profit365.org and email our client support rep, Janet, and she can actually help you with that. And or if you just want to delegate your TikTok advertising and get started and see if it's in your area, you can go there and complete the application. Live streaming. This remains popular and will continue to be the norm. You can live stream on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. So in your regular posting online, this should be a weekly occurrence so you can get more free organic visibility. Now, organic content marketing on most channels is not going to be enough. We already know that because Facebook and Instagram and these platforms, they have an incentive to throttle and decrease your distribution of your posts because they want your money, right? So advertising is going to be key. However, you still have to know how to maximize your free organic visibility online. So where you're going to post, and you can take a snapshot of this real quick, you're going to post on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter. Like this should be by default, repackaging your content, all of these. However, in these particular channels, you need to realize that you got to post on different aspects. So your regular Facebook posts, your stories. There's a lot of people, they don't go in the newsfeed anymore. They just look at the stories. And those stories are, tend to be non-political, which is why people go to them more. They don't want to see the garbage in the newsfeed. So you might be missing out on hundreds or potentially thousands of impressions or clicks by not uploading the stories every day. And Facebook Reels, which is similar to Instagram. Now, Instagram, you've got your regular posts, your stories, and your Reels. YouTube, your regular video uploads and your shorts. TikTok, you have the regular video upload and stories. LinkedIn, your regular posts. Twitter, your normal tweets. So we have to be on all of these areas in these platforms. And a content creation calendar. If I look at my most successful clients, private coaching, generating millions and millions of dollars through social media, all of them have some type of regular content calendar like clockwork that they're going after. So be smart about it. If you want to get more newsfeed visibility for free, I'd encourage you to tell more stories, then ask more open-ended questions to stimulate engagement. Comments are key on Facebook and other social platforms. That's why you might notice when you get comments and you respond, that post generates more reach and visibility. Same thing. You can even post frequently, maybe 2 to 3 times a day if you have that option to try to get more visibility. But you should also focus on creating more engaging content. A lot of docs I speak with and look at their pages, their titles and their posts are just lame. They don't draw you in. There's no attention grabbers at all. So learn from others that have been more successful at doing this. Then review your insights tab on your Facebook business page, because this tells you when your posts are getting the most engagement or distribution. Could be 8 o'clock in the morning. It might be certain types of posts, videos, articles, and whatnot. You got to figure this stuff out and identify patterns so you can then maximize your free reach. Use Facebook Live video on top of everything else, and then combine all this stuff, take your most successful posts and run Facebook ads to promote your best content. Now, a lot of talk about audio social apps, and I believe they're going to continue to grow, like Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces, Telegram Voice. The conversations are typically deleted, so it's like a short-term temporary thing, but I don't recommend spending a ton of time on these channels because they're not usually new patient producers. Content marketing, though, is going to continue to dominate SEO just because of the amount of ad blockers that are online and with browsers or whatnot. So according to the Content Marketing Institute, content marketing costs 62% less than outbound marketing and can generate 3 times as many leads. Content marketing has lower upfront costs and deeper long-term benefits than paid search. Over 615 million devices now use ad blockers, which means your Facebook and your Instagram ads are going to be less likely to be seen. Small businesses in general with blogs generate 126 more leads than those without blogs. And content marketing rakes in conversions 6 times higher than other methods because it is search traffic. So while it is a long game, it doesn't happen overnight, you should still play that SEO content marketing game. And just a quick reminder, with chaos in the world that we live in right now comes massive opportunity for those that do certain things in a specific way. And there's good news. Social media usage has skyrocketed. Now, on top of that, you got to think, how do I shape public perception to position yourself at the top, like to be a household name like the Dr. Oz of the market? I can tell you when you do this, everything gets easier and your conversion from social media goes way up if you can elevate your status. Now, something to think about is constant repetition. I want you to think McDonald's here. Same message over and over for decades and decades. This is a way you influence people to eventually do business with you ethically. By being the loudest voice with the most certainty. I love what Tony Robbins says. When two people get together, the one that's most certain will always influence the other individual. This is true online as well. So if you're consistent and you have the most certainty and you stay in front of people, you will become more influential, which leads to more new patients in your office. Results and testimonials, as you circulate these, like I teach in my social media elite course or private coaching programs, you will get out there. People will see the results that you get, and it influences their buying decision. Also, with peer-reviewed research, people like to see studies, evidence that what you do and what you say is validated by some type of peer-reviewed research. And by elevating your status in the community, I could do a whole 2-hour presentation of just this one thing, of factors like using celebrity attachment, attaching with Ivy League schools, building your research and testimonial portfolio. There's a lot of ways that you can elevate your status, so you're the only logical choice in your market. And it's really powerful when you fuse all of those things with online advertising. Now, let's continue the social media growth strategies here. So we talked about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok, but they also have an advertising element to those platforms. In my opinion, you're not going to be able to compete in today's market without leveraging ads. You can't do it because you will not hit the tipping point like somebody like me or somebody that I've coached will do when they're consistent with it. Now online, on Facebook, you've got your classic boosted posts. It's like Facebook advertising for dummies. If you go to your Facebook fan page right now, you'll see below those posts, you've got that little blue boost button, and you can boost it to your community. You have video advertising where you can push videos out locally, challenge style ads where you're going to run a 7-day straighten up posture challenge or something along those lines. You can have ads to ethical bribes or reports, quizzes, video series, things of that nature. Ads to direct response and consult exam offers, condition specific, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, all those things. Personal story ads where they don't even look like ads at all. They're elegant ways to reach out in your community. And you can see this, the great example of a client of mine, Dr. Andy, 2,900 likes, 183 comments, and 201 shares. When we started to promote this, all he did was tell his personal story, hooked people in from the beginning, had a nice family photo. There's no classic call to action button. And he had people left and right sharing their stories and wanting to become patients of his office. So this is a really powerful way to differentiate yourself in the community that no one is still hardly doing. If everyone's doing something, you want to do the opposite thing to stand out and be memorable. And nothing sticks in a person's mind like a story. By the way, you can actually tell a patient's story or a testimonial this way too. And I have a great video in Social Media Elite, my flagship training course, that walks you through that process step by step so you can attract more new patients with your stories. You've got ads to workshops, ladies' nights, women, wine, and wellness, dinner with the doc workshops, you name it. Messenger ads, you can engage in conversation before you ask them to take an action. Ads to blog posts. Retargeting, this means that when somebody sees one piece of your content, You can come back a few days later and show them more pieces of content and over and over and over until they eventually come in. You can run ads that target professionals. So if I wanted to get my message in front of OBGYNs who I wanted to get referrals from, if I had a big pregnancy practice, I could show ads to them online as well. We've got a tutorial about that in a social media elite course. This is just one example of many successes. This is from Dr. Dana. She talks about 6 out of 7 new patients yesterday based on videos, 4 today, 4 out of 5 today, 4 out of 5 on Thursday. This is crazy. That's 14 new patients in a matter of 3 days. Thank you for holding me accountable. It's working. Slow and steady is winning the race, and that's really what it takes. In some markets, you're going to hit a winner very fast. In others, it will take a little bit of ramp-up time, but just keep plugging along. LinkedIn. This is a network of professionals, a more affluent social network. So if you can build a presence there, you could see some great examples. Plus, they have their own ads channel. Instagram, we talked about that, the organic side of things, and the free. There's been a big shift. There are people that are not on Facebook anymore. They only go to Instagram. So if you don't consistently publish content over that way, if you don't consistently advertise on Instagram, you're missing out on a massive population that is over there. Make sure that you don't miss out on that. You can do Instagram contests and the organic to make it fun for people to join, to leverage, to get more followers real quick. Email and SMS is still highly important in today's time. And really the goal of a lot of social media is to get people off of social media onto lists that you control. So if you're not emailing or texting your lists weekly, you're missing out, and you should incorporate that as part of your protocol. But email and SMS allow you to build a list of patients or prospective ones. You can educate your current patients, reactivate older ones, and all of that good stuff. Facebook organic marketing, like your check-ins, people checking in at your office and you get tons of free exposure. You could have check-in for charity initiatives or contests where somebody receives a free gift card to a nice steakhouse. Mix it up there. Lots of ways to get free exposure. Facebook Live or videos. Facebook groups. One of my clients created a Facebook support group locally for ADHD for kids, and he's got over 10,000 members in that group. It's insane. And once you establish a resource like that, you can see referrals for a long time. You can run ads to your patients, upload your list to Facebook or LinkedIn directly. YouTube, the second largest search engine online. You have to maximize this, continue to upload your videos, gain keyword optimization. YouTube also has their sponsored ads platform, which is a lot less busy than Facebook because the barrier of entry is a little higher. This is search traffic, mind you, so you have big opportunities this way. I would highly recommend experimenting there. And SEO and content marketing we spoke a little bit about. It's vitally important. Google My Business Profile, like we've shown before. People always buy chiropractors like they buy books online. They want to see the most reviews. And if you have the most reviews, you're going to be the only logical choice. Now, Yelp sucks, quite honestly. Highly unethical company. However, they're integrated with all iPhones. You search Apple Maps, it brings back Yelp listings. A lot of smart speakers in the phone as well. So they are a necessary evil. Or I can tell you stories of patient or clients of mine that attract 20 plus new patients a month just from Yelp. So it can be very powerful. It's just you should never pay for advertising on Yelp initially until you are seeing great traction. And you're not just going to ask anyone to leave you feedback on Yelp because it'll get filtered. That's a big problem. There's got to be a specific way you do that. Make sure they're active on Yelp and such. Webinars. This can also be a highly powerful patient attraction platform. Now, if you're concerned about or you want to run webinars, in chapter 26 of my book, Social Media Made Me Rich, you should absolutely read that because I give you the best practices, guideline, mistakes not to make, sample protocols, emails, all this stuff that you can model and mold to what you're doing. I used to sell that as a course for $297, so it's very well worth your read and to take notes. Google AdWords is a powerful way to generate new patients from search traffic. It's not usually where I recommend starting because the costs are higher there. However, it is a great way to have another layer of that spider web, right? We talked about a spider web where you got all this traffic coming in from so many different directions. Google AdWords can be a powerful component of that, feeding your office Guest blogging, you can submit your content to local newspapers or other local blogs. Maybe it gets picked up and you get a link, which can elevate your SEO and get you in front of another community. A very powerful way. Twitter, I'm going to have to host a separate masterclass on Twitter because this network, especially lately, in the time we speak, we're talking about the fourth highest traffic website in the world. And now, especially as Elon has taken over, the engagement is just insane. I've never seen anything like it in all of my time on Twitter. And it's definitely become an open platform, more free speech oriented. The distribution is much higher too versus before. It used to be like Facebook where your posts would get throttled and they decrease your visibility. Well, not anymore. So it is a powerful channel you absolutely need to be on, and definitely make sure you follow me there. Guys, it's 2023. We need to start marketing and advertising our practices like it's the year we actually live in. And if you agree with that, you can say yes to yourself, but this is so important. We don't want to be perceived as outdated and out of touch. It's like 20 years ago, if you weren't in the yellow pages, people looked at you as suspect. Nowadays, if you don't have a large presence on social, the same thing is happening, so don't shoot yourself in the foot. Now imagine if you implemented all of these methods and you had them working for you like clockwork just 6 months ago. How much more influence would you have built? How many more new patients would you have in your office right now? Huge opportunities. So here's some quick mistakes to avoid. Hiring an outside agency. Now, I'm not saying not to do this, but so many docs will do this first, and they have no idea how to measure and track and improve. And then, of course, a couple months later go by, they're not getting the results that they want, or the agency has gotten an account banned. I mean, just delegating because you don't have and you didn't get your hands dirty first is a very, very silly thing to do. And more times than not, you tend to get burned. So you got to get your hands dirty. If I look at my most successful clients on social media that I personally coached, people that pay a lot of money, they're always getting their hands dirty to know the systems, how to measure, because what you can measure, what you can improve. And then when you have a good idea, then you can start to delegate, whether that's in-house to your people or whether it's to an outside agency, but you're not going to be ignorant when you do that. Dabbling is never going to get you the result that you want. So going here, doing this, and haphazardly putting along, we have to be more consistent and really commit to the process. Overspending. You don't need to spend $100 or $1,000 in many cases to figure out if a post is going to work in your favor. There are ways that you can test efficiently, and I show you about that in the Social Media Elite course. Going after likes. This is a vanity metric, but it's never going to bring in just the new patients. So don't just run an ad to get more likes. If you have great content, the likes will follow in droves. Putting all of your eggs in the Google or Facebook basket. Listen, I love Google and Facebook for the powerhouse that they are for new patient acquisition, building influence and impact. But you need to diversify because we have no idea what these channels will do tomorrow. Not tracking. This is a big one. If you don't know how to track, you can't improve it. And if you can't improve it, well, what's the point? Inconsistency is the kiss of death. This mistake will kill your momentum very quick. So if you start something, you have to be consistent little by little, even if it's a few minutes a day, or doing something to move you toward your goal each and every day. And not getting started. Like I said, it's 2023. We as a profession need to market like it's the world we actually live in. And if you know somebody that you feel could benefit from this webinar, make sure you send it to them before it comes down online. Somebody that really needs to hear this message, because it doesn't do the profession any good to not get started with this stuff, regardless of how you feel. Even if you're frustrated with social media, chances are you're frustrated because you're not using the systems properly, or you're letting social media use you. And that's a big deal. Like, you're not using the platforms. You're sucked into the newsfeed and you're getting caught up in all this garbage that you don't need to be. And then going at it without professional guidance. I think that speaks for itself. You can learn this information on your own, but do you have 2, 3, 4 hours a day over the next year to put in to make the mistakes? That's silly, where you could actually align with a mentor and fast track your results. Somebody that's been there where you are. Overcome any obstacle that you'll face. So plan of action. This is social media, ideally, all the pillars that you would want to have integrated eventually. The reputation, the social proof management aspect, the reviews and whatnot. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, organic marketing. I'd include TikTok in there as well. Um, Pay-per-click advertising, Facebook, AdWords, TikTok, Insta, search engine optimization, getting your website ranked high on Google, video marketing, YouTube, TikTok, Reels, etc., blogging and microblogging like on Twitter, photo sharing, Pinterest and Instagram, and news releases and publicity. This is like a massive thing that as you get everything going on, you can just push it out there and create this windfall of traffic that you couldn't turn off even if you wanted to. So question, do you want to hit the ground running now and moving forward in 2023? Hopefully you said yes. Do you want to guarantee your success and practice growth with social media? Do you want to go at it alone? Or do you want to have professional guidance and be involved in a community of like-minded, helpful doctors? So tell me, what kind of chiropractor or health professional are you? Usually on these webinars, we'll have a few different types. One, you've seen the information, you think it's good, but you're not going to do anything with it. And I sincerely hope that's no one, because we live in a very interesting time where there's going to be a lot of docs that are hurting because they don't understand how the world has evolved and they don't know how to capitalize on the systems. Second type of doctor or professional you might be, you've seen the information, you are doing a little bit of social media, maybe you're kind of beginner to intermediate, and you know that you could get better results if you had just better systems in place. You know that this is where the world has moved and you want professional guidance. And the third type of professional that you might be is maybe you're already doing great with social media, attracting an extra 20 plus new patients or clients a month, but you know that maybe with some small subtle tweaks, you can double that number. Well, regardless of what category you fall into, there's good news. And with this change comes opportunity if certain things are done in a specific way. And I can help you stand out above the noise and rise above the gatekeepers. I've dedicated the last 17 years of my life to helping doctors multiply their impact, influence, and monthly revenue with social media. And I've encountered any obstacle and challenge that you'll face online. Whether your goal is an extra 7, 15, 40 or more new patients per month, you need to get clear on what you want, because I can definitely help you achieve this goal with the systems. Now, the two most popular ways that I typically work with chiropractors and health experts are, number one, with my flagship online course and community, Social Media Elite, and number two, through my private one-on-one weekly coaching program. The Social Media Elite program is a home study training. It's instantly downloadable. You get over 70 videos. It's created by a doctor, myself, and it works for any type of chiropractic practice, whether it's chiropractic, wellness, neurology, functional medicine, nutrition, regenerative medicine. In fact, you can apply these principles to really any small business, in fact. And it comes with a 6-month money-back guarantee. Just one new patient in your office more than pays for the system. So what you get is you get to look over my shoulder as I show you how to use Facebook organically, like some of my most successful clients. And we talk referral marketing strategies. You learn Facebook ads marketing, the advertising, and I give you sample ads to swipe just to take the guesswork out of it. You get Google Business Profile Marketing, Google Maps, search engine optimization. I show you what you need to know. And then, of course, you can have your agency do some of the rest. Instagram marketing tactics to help you become more influential and attract more patients from the world's #1 photo sharing website. LinkedIn marketing and advertising strategies. YouTube video marketing. You know, if I had to say one thing that was responsible for me getting early and getting well known early in my career, it was YouTube. Second largest search engine online, and it's still massive, massive opportunity there. You also get in Social Media Elite TikTok marketing. This is where the puck is moving, and so I share with you the best practices, mistakes not to make. I even go with some of the more successful doctors so you can see and not have to reinvent the wheel and just model their content. Twitter marketing for doctors, we have some video tutorials on that. Outsourcing and leveraging. Well, there's a time and place for you to do things, and there's a time and place to have others do things for you, for sure. And you get a quick start manual and task list. Now, the task list, there's a lot of stuff in there, of course, in the quick start manual, but that's a 3,000-foot bird's eye overview of stuff that eventually will be implemented in your practice. Don't let it overwhelm you, but use it as a guide. And, you know, today, like we talked about some specific strategies, you'll find value in how we approach those within the course. So, what Social Media Elite will do for you is it'll finally give you strategy to make you consistent so you can attract dozens of new patients every month like clockwork. And there, like I said, there is a ramp up time sometimes depending on how competitive your market is. But once everything's dialed in, you always will hit that tipping point. It's just a matter of time. Traffic. It shows you how to get massive amounts of local traffic. So many docs will throw their website under the bus and not really understanding that they're just not getting a lot of visitors to it. So this solves that problem. And I show you how to get top Google rankings so you can, of course, bring in more new patients. And you learn how to become an unstoppable public relations machine that just consistently goes and works for you 24/7. And of course, this course shows you how to attract more new patients in your office. Definitely much better than what you are doing right now. And you learn a set of skills that pays you over and over again. This is not like a postcard drop where you will send it out one time and ultimately you get that result one time. If these systems are set up, you will see results over and over for years to come. And this can easily be one of the best investments you've ever made. Now, some docs will say, I don't have the time, but it's really about priorities. Cut out 30 minutes of TV every single day. You don't need a ton of time to make this work, and you can involve team members. Most docs are on the computer that much anyway. It's just now we're turning that 30 minutes a day into productive time to marketing the office. And some will say, oh, I'm not a computer geek, but you don't have to be to really learn this. Is it new learning? Yes, in some instances, but it's not biochemistry like what we had in school. So let's put it in perspective. Now, this is all about mentorship and giving you exactly what you need. I could show you testimonial after testimonial, like Dr. Trevor bought the program, he says 9 months ago, and a minimum of 20 times the investment in just that time. And they're receiving now 3 to 5 new patients per month from implementing the strategies. For anyone considering this program, it's a no-brainer. Dr. Doug Kane says, your strategies have played a large role in doubling my practice in the last 6 months. And if I'm to be completely honest, I haven't implemented all that much of it yet. We went from 2 to 3 new patients per month to over 25 per month from Facebook with your help. Dr. Friedman in Ohio. Dr. Vanessa talks about how she attracted 22 new patients from Facebook alone in her first month with my private coaching. Dr. Green out of the UK has got Chiropractic and Osteopathic Center. He says getting 60 to 100 views per day. Average new patients in the clinic, 60 per month, about 40 from the internet. It's awesome. Dr. Ryan Browning talks about setting records and sometimes being on a several-day waiting list. And now he gets to spend more time with his daughters because of the information that he's learned. Dr. Ryan French talks about every week this week somebody called for a new patient appointment from Facebook or YouTube. That's unreal. It's now 9 in the last week and a half. It took a bit to get going, but I'm impressed, right? Sometimes it does take a little bit of time, but when that dam breaks, massive momentum can happen. Dr. Ryan talks about how, and what he learned from my private coaching as well as the Social Media Elite, thousands of new patients are now generated throughout all of his clinics collectively from using this information. And Dr. Sachin Patel talks about how he was fortunate to generate over $1 million because of his connection with me and what he learned. So the investment for the Social Media Elite Training Program is normally $597, but you could save 37% today from this webinar. So it's just a one-time investment of $377. And we're going to give you over $3,000 in bonuses for this webinar. One of those is a private phone consultation with me so I can help fast track your success. You're going to get on the phone with me personally, not an assistant, so we can tailor this information to your style of practice or business. You also get access to our private Facebook group, which is a $997 value. Really, this is priceless because we have over 1,600 doctors and health professionals in there that are, that I've trained that have been very helpful and that are more than willing to help you as well. Lots of questions, too. You can search through the threads. You'll also get access to our 365 graphics package, which is a $197 value. If you ever run out of an idea to post, you can use this on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. And then we'll give you free course updates for life. Sometimes I'll just publish new videos in there. There won't be a Social Media Elite 2.0. That's not how this works. And, you get unlimited email support as well, which is a $500 value. I had a client the other day email me, and he's been a member for 12 years because we've evolved the program over that time. And he says, I can't even believe you still answer my emails, but thank you. So, but yeah, once you're in, I appreciate your trust and support, and I'm going to do everything I can to give you that in return. So here's what to do next. If you like the idea of attracting an extra 30, 40, or more new patients per month without spending money on traditional advertising and doubling your practice in the next 6 months or less, just click the link or button that you see on this page. It might be a big yellow orange add to cart button, and then follow the process through. Just click it one time, and you can either pay via PayPal or credit card. You're going to get instant access to the trainings after you're in, and you'll also get an email from us. The email comes from info@dcincome.com. So if you don't have the email with the download links in your inbox within 15 minutes after you purchase, check your junk and spam just to make sure. Sometimes it gets filtered there. And or make sure you email info@dcincome.com. Now, some of you have asked about the private coaching, and this is where we work one-on-one on a weekly basis. Right now, I have 2 spots open. My average coaching client recoups their investment within 30 days because we hit the ground running fast. And this is something to where if you're a private coaching client and member of mine, you get top priority access to me personally, and then you get access to my other products, programs, and trainings as well. It's going to likely be 2 to 3 months before we have another spot that opens up. And like I said, my average coaching client does recoup the investment within 30 days. Plus, you get a ticket to our social media revenue summit, complimentary, happening this August as a private coaching client as well. If you are a previous coaching client of mine, you can email me directly and we can get you signed up because you're going to have first priority access in that. So if you have a question about the private coaching and you're ready, if you're a high performance type of individual, email info@dcincome.com immediately. You can just put private coaching in the subject headline, and then we can get you actually registered for that. But I'll leave you with this today. An idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan, and that's by Warren Buffett. We have so many doctors and health professionals that are just brilliant, but they don't have a plan online, so they never realize the results that they want, whether it's new patients through the door or whether it's building a bigger influence or impact or generating sales online. Social Media Elite program that we offer and my private coaching program give you an exact proven plan that you can execute on and see the results that you are looking for. So if you have any questions at any time, I'm more than happy to help serve and support you. I wish you a prosperous and abundant new year, and let's make this thing happen together. Just click the big yellow orange add to cart button and go through and access Social Media Elite. And if you have any other questions in the meantime, make sure that you email me or look me up on social media. There's so much opportunity in the world that we live in right now if you're doing specific things in the ways that I discussed. And I'm more than happy to help and guide you through that process. Love you guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.